football is officially back, and the 49ers kicked off training camp in front of the faithful. And for some fans, the opportunity had a bigger purpose.
It's a great experience for my kids, man. I love it.
We'll introduce you to a youth football coach hoping to inspire his players the same way football changed his life as a kid.
But it made me the man I am today.
Plus, we'll meet a small business owner asking Emeryville to slam the brakes on a plan to put in more bike and bus lanes on a major corridor.
To make 40th Street into one-lane car traffic just doesn't feel safe or relevant.
And we'll take you to a San Francisco food pantry, scraping together every dollar and meal it can after city and state budget cuts.
We got nothing but empty pallets.
And the community market, whose mission is more important than ever. And later, a small miracle amid the devastation of the Palisades fire.
I had no clue if I was gonna make it.
How a father and son's hidden treasure survived the flames and inspired their community.
Love and connection can't be burned.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. Well, after a season in which almost everything that could have gone wrong went wrong, the 49ers are back on the field for training camp ahead of the 2025 season, and the mood is much brighter than the last time we saw them in action. And we're not just talking about the players. The 49er faithful flooded to Santa Clara to see the red and gold in person. Arlen Ramirez met one fan who was not just there for selfies and autographs, but for inspiration.
Well, 49er football is officially back here in the Bay Area with the opening of training camp today, and it was an open practice so the fans could get in and reconnect with the team. And we found some special fans doing just that. The speed and the power of 49er football was on full display for the faithful, who crowded onto the sidelines and bleachers for their first look at their heroes. The open practice brought thousands to the 49ers training camp, but for one Bay Area family, it was more than just football. Meet Lamar Youngblood of Vallejo, a father of 5, youth coach, and former high school football standout. Lamar brought 4 of his 5 kids, including his 8-month-old baby girl and his wife Kiara, to share the moment.
I brought my family out to the camp today, to training camp, so they can get the experience of the 49ers and see how they get down and pretty much compare it to our practices out in Vallejo. And so, yeah, it's a great experience for my kids, man. I love it.
Lamar knows firsthand the power of football. Raised by a single mom, he says the sport gave him focus and purpose.
Everybody got hard times, you know what I'm saying? So everyone has a story. So, yes, I definitely have a hard upbringing, you know what I'm saying? But it made me the man I am today, dude. You know what I mean?
Now he's giving back, coaching several 49ers affiliated youth teams in Vallejo. That is when he's not working with his teenage son at the small pressure washing business he started called Lamar & Sons. Kiara is the team mom, not just for her own 5 kids, but for about 60 other boys and girls on their teams.
It's just football. You know, who doesn't love football? Who doesn't love being around it and the environment and the atmosphere? Yeah, that's what our family loves.
It's crazy how I'm able to give back to the kids now from when I was growing up, and the coaches that taught me these things. I'm able to give back to the kids now, and it's been such a positive impact on all the children. And the kids love us. The kids love us.
Some of his players were there too, watching their coach let loose and enjoy the game he loves.
It feels like he cares about how you're doing instead of just the entire team. And honestly, he's been my friend for a long time. I've known him because he worked in my dad's league, but there's so much I could talk about. You know, he's a great teacher. He's a great mentor. He's like, you know, he's a great friend to me. I got so many good things to say about Coach Youngblood.
A good coach can change the game, but a great coach can change a life. And so getting the kid off of the street, getting him off that corner, bringing him into football, changing his life around from negative to positive, I'm all for it.
When practice ended, Lamar and Kiara helped their kids get autographs from Brock Purdy, George Kittle, and Fred Warner. It was an inspiring day for a dedicated fan and his family, and a reminder that football can be transformational and a bond between the generations.
The Niners have 10 more open practices scheduled between now and August 12th. But if you don't already have your ticket, you're out of luck. Every single date is sold out. So as for the action on the field, practice at full speed hasn't started yet for the Niners. You can see they haven't even started wearing their pads yet. But players say the vibes are great so far. It comes after last season's training camp began with a couple holdouts. That's because of contract disputes. Pro Bowler Nick Bosa spoke about the relatively drama-free training camp so far.
Well, drama is from the outside. There's really no drama. Just work. Everybody's here. We're all friends.
Good. He also said he's excited to see how the young guys develop this season, including 11th overall pick Mykel Williams. All right, meantime, we are counting down just over 2 weeks until the Niners' first preseason game, which you can watch right here on KPIX 5. They host the Denver Broncos at Levi Stadium on August 9th. Coverage starts at 5:30 p.m. We take you to San Jose now. Firefighters knocked down a fire that spread to 2 homes near the Cambrian Park neighborhood. So you can see the flames tearing through a roof and the large clouds of smoke. This is just off Hillsdale Avenue. It's about a half-mile east of the Target. Firefighters say no one inside the homes were hurt, but one firefighter was treated for heat exhaustion. Also, one dog had to be rescued from the first house. You can see the fire through the front door there. Looks like a lot of the inside is gutted. We do not know how it started yet. And the man charged with setting a San Jose post office on fire, he made his first court appearance today. Richard Tilman was set to be arraigned on charges of arson and vandalism, but his defense attorney raised doubts about whether he's mentally fit to stand trial. The judge agreed to have him evaluated. Doctors are expected to be appointed in August. And we also learned more about what happened early Sunday morning at the Almaden Valley Post Office. According to the charging documents, Tilman put fire starter logs in his car and doused them in lighter fluid. He then allegedly backed his car into the post office and lit it on fire. Police say he was live streaming the whole thing on YouTube.
Any statements that the defendant made at the time of the crime, any statements he subsequently makes, including the statements in court, are all things that we take into consideration.
The DA's office says it will most likely be months before there is a ruling on Tilman's mental health. He is the brother of former NFL player Pat Tilman, who was killed by friendly fire after joining the U.S. Army. Well, a mechanical issue caused flaring today at the Valero Refinery in Benicia. In fact, our chopper was over the flames. The refinery told the Benicia Fire Department it was an issue with its nitrogen plant. The fire department said there wasn't a risk to the public. The Bay Area Air Quality District did confirm they had investigators on site. Police in San Francisco are searching for a hit-and-run driver who killed a man walking in the Excelsior district. The crash happened just after midnight at Mission Street and Santa Rosa Avenue. First responders tried to save the man's life, but he died from his injuries. This is the 10th pedestrian killed in San Francisco this year. Some business owners in Emeryville are mounting opposition to a plan to put in some designated bike and bus-only lanes along one of the city's busiest stretches. So this project, it covers a stretch of 40th and Shelmond streets, and the area includes major businesses like IKEA, Target, and also the Bay Street Mall. But there are also a number of small businesses along that stretch who are just not happy about this plan. One business owner told our Katie Nilsson the new lanes could actually strangle access to their store.
It is a 3-generation business. I'm Gen 2.
Deborah Cohen and her family have owned Rug Depot Outlet in Emeryville for the past 55 years. And with more than 10,000 rugs in the showroom and warehouse, there are massive semi-trucks coming and going almost every day. Not just for her business, but for others nearby, like Pottery and Beyond, Granite Expo, and more.
A lot of our neighbors are light industrial or in the catering business, and so this street takes delivery on very heavy product.
That's why she and about a dozen neighboring businesses are so concerned about the 40th Street multimodal project that's moving forward in the City Council. The plan is to make 40th Street more friendly to pedestrians, cyclists, and buses by closing side streets to vehicles and eliminating one lane of traffic in each direction, converting it into dedicated bus and bike lanes. The total cost of the project, just over $30 million.
This project is in a big way looking to accommodate all the users who want to come into the city.
Emeryville's mayor, David Mora, says they've been studying the corridor since 2018 and have done traffic studies looking at what makes the most sense, and says this plan helps make 40th Street not just safer for pedestrians and cyclists, but people in cars as well.
We're really trying to improve things for everyone, and sometimes there are trade-offs, and we understand that, and we understand that sometimes change can be difficult.
But for Deborah and other business owners, they feel like the change is only a positive for a small few at the expense of legacy businesses that built Emeryville into what it is today.
40th to me is a throwaway that is made for this exact thing, which is, deliveries of trucks coming off of freeways. And to make 40th Street into one-lane car traffic just doesn't feel safe or relevant.
Now, this isn't a done deal just yet. The city council still has to vote on it. That vote is expected sometime toward the end of the year. And if it is approved, the project wouldn't be completed until 2028.
This is just the most recent bike lane battle in the Bay. San Francisco's Valencia Street faced years of public debate over its design. The city installed a center-running bike lane in 2023, which drew criticism from cyclists and merchants. The street's latest change to a protected side-running bike lane launched in May. Tesla hitting a speed bump with its latest quarterly earnings report. The fallout from Elon Musk's stint in politics still weighing on the electric vehicle maker. So this is Tesla's second straight quarter of declines. Q2 revenue and profit both dropped double digits year over year. Now, vehicle delivery numbers also slid by 14%. Deliveries are the closest approximation we get to the company's actual sales. And we'll zoom in on California. You can see that in Q2, the number of Teslas registered in the state actually plunged 21% year over year. This is the 7th consecutive quarter that we have actually seen that number fall. All right, still ahead here at 6, a major milestone for a San Francisco market with a focus on its most vulnerable. How their burden is growing with local food pantries devastated by budget cuts.
The only thing that we have right now is potatoes that we got donated.
And a new tribute in North Beach for one of the early titans of San Francisco's finance industry. Sweeping budget cuts from the city and state have some San Francisco food pantries scraping together everything they can to meet their community's needs. And it comes as a popular market in the Mission District is reaching a major milestone. As Lauren Tums reports, its mission is more important than ever.
This is my concha, or a concha. It's a classic pan dulce. It's one of my main sellers at the market.
Raquel Goldman is preparing dozens of pastries to sell Thursday at the Mission Community Market, a staple of the community celebrating 15 years serving the Mission and the heartbeat of the neighborhood. Raquel has been a vendor for 5 of those years. She started baking Mexican classics during the pandemic, and her bakery, Norte 54, gets a sizable portion of its sales from the market. It's not only important for her business, but for the greater Mission community.
So it's like this sort of sharing of my culture, of like explaining what I was doing, and also just having the immediate recognition by others, and like, oh my gosh, pan dulce is here.
Like I love you, I love you. Every Thursday from March through November, the market serves hundreds with fresh produce and staples like Raquel's pan dulce. But it's the market's resources for those on food stamps that are more important than ever, as food pantries in the Mission have seen significant funding cuts from the city and the state. Food pantries like the Mission Food Hub, run by Roberto Hernandez, they lost all of their city funding, $9 million, because of budget cuts.
We're only open now on Fridays, and we've had to cut down the number of families we're serving.
Despite the cuts, the need remains high.
We got nothing but empty pallets. The only thing that we have right now is potatoes that we got donated. This whole area was stacked with 50-pound bags of rice and beans and masa and other products. We have no reserves at all. I mean, literally, we're going day by day.
The Mission Community Market run by Foodwise says as the region sees a decline in affordable food pantries, they're prepared for an influx of new customers to take advantage of their matching program, which provides up to $15 in matching funds for those using food stamps. And for Raquel, the market has opened new doors and new friendships.
One of the first times in my life where I was like, oh, I see representation does matter. And I was being part of that sort of story loop for the community there.
Offering sweet treats and a reminder of home.
Meanwhile, in North Beach, San Francisco's Little Italy community is celebrating a new face on their honor walk.
Due, uno!
Local leaders unveiled the new plaque honoring A.P. Giannini. He founded the Bank of Italy in San Francisco back in 1904. It became what is now Bank of America today. Organizers say Giannini made banking accessible for everyday workers at a time when it was exclusively for the wealthy. Today, they spoke about how Giannini helped people rebuild after the devastating 1906 San Francisco earthquake.
At Fisherman's Wharf, extending loans on a handshake to everyone that wanted to help rebuild the city. That act alone tells you everything you need to know about who he was.
Organizers say Giannini also helped fund the early tech industry and launch Hollywood's film industry in the 1920s. Coming up, my attempts to teach camera-ready public speaking skills to rising college students. And then you say, boom.
Boom, yeah, mic drop.
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking notes in that one. Marine layer. Boy, it's got it in for us this summer. Did it again today. Of course, we got sunshine, more sunshine by the afternoon than we have over the last several days. But it's just coming back again tomorrow. What's going on with this pattern? And how long are we going to stay relatively cool like this? We'll go into the forecast coming up after the break.
Oh boy, our future is bright with this group that you see behind me. I was invited to speak to them today during their summer internship and help them with their camera-ready public speaking skills. So they've been spending their summer learning all things finance and business at Mirador Capital and Tri-Valley Ventures. But today was all things public speaking and how to address some of my very hard-hitting questions thrown their way.
On that note, all right. First and last name.
I moved to California in about 5th, 6th grade.
So my name is Mohati Panmeta. I went to school mostly in India.
Where are we headed?
Yeah, so my name is Scott Garman. I go to UC Berkeley. I'm on the swimming and diving team.
Swimming has taught me how to have a very high level of competitiveness.
My name is Ritwik Shah. I go to Indiana University and I'm a rising junior. I'm studying finance.
Having so much athletic experience, I wanted to carry that into my career.
A lot of times I'm very much of a never quit type of person.
Yeah.
And then you say, boom.
Boom, yeah, mic drop.
Yeah. Okay, that was my 2 cents worth. What's your first and last name and boom, mic drop?
I'm taking notes on this.
No, they were just naturals. You know, the type they shake your hand, look you in the eye. They had the eye contact. They had it down. They're going to have our jobs one of these days.
Well, I'm hoping you do that for adults. I'd like a class like that
would
that you do.
Okay, you have to do a mic drop, too. You good at that?
Boom.
Okay, boom. All right, take it away.
All right, I passed the crash course.
Yeah.
All right, so today we did it again. The marine layer had the entire bay covered. Look at 9 a.m. Of course, there's good news on this because it cleared out pretty quickly. And we did get more sun today than we've had. Look at the live view. That's the scene from the top of the Salesforce looking out towards the west. It's cloudy. But if you notice the subtleties on this, those clouds are a little different. We got more breaks of blue sky. The clouds are a little puffier than they have been over the past couple of days. That does play into this forecast a bit. I'll do my best to explain exactly what I mean by that in 1 second. But it's really not going to change the end result much. We are staying put. Take a look at daytime highs for tomorrow. And we're doing almost the same exact numbers. This is your Thursday. Thursday, pretty much a carbon copy. The clouds may not look as unique, but they're going to look just as gray in the morning. They're going to cover just about as much of the bay, and it'll be enough. We probably even get some light mist out of it again in the morning hours for some coastal places and through parts of the bay. That kind of covers the drill on how tomorrow is not going to be all that much different. Let me give you some background on what's happened and what is a little different about today. Let's say goodbye to that live view, and we'll go to the big picture view to understand the pattern we have been locked in June and July, cooler than average. There is our semi-permanent dome of high pressure, which sits out here. It's semi-permanent. It's supposed to be that way, but it's been permanent this summer. Hasn't budged much. So we've been locked in this pattern. If you look at that center of high pressure, it wants to spin the atmosphere clockwise. Look what that does when we come in for a close-up look in terms of what it keeps kind of throwing our way. We keep getting systems diving down in that flow, weak little areas of low pressure, like that one. You see it there when we take a look at it on the satellite imagery, and you see it here when you look at it on the water vapor. Look at that counterclockwise spin sitting right off the coast of California, little area of low pressure. When you get those, you deepen the marine layer, you add some depth to it, maybe even some different kinds of clouds. We had a weak little cold front come through here yesterday, which is why the sky looked a little different, if you happen to notice that. That thing's going to be sitting around for the next couple of days and doesn't really show any signs of wanting to leave. One of the other things this pattern has done for us, take a look at the water out here off the coast. Supposed to be cold. That's kind of California's claim to fame, I guess, at least Northern California. You don't want to go in the water here in the summer. Typical water temperature out here is in the upper 50s. But if we take a look at the coast of California as a whole, you see how we start to get into these shades of blue here? This is where water temperatures have gone into the upper 40s. The point is, it's a lot colder off our coast in the ocean than normal. That keeps building the marine layer because the marine layer feeds off all that cold water, cools the temperature right above it, and that allows the clouds to form. Then you get this onshore influence from all those areas of low pressure which come in our way, and that's the crash course and why this summer's going the way it is. It does not show any signs of changing. That is the forecast for the inland microclimates. Look at the mid-70s for the next few days. Average daytime highs in each one of these days should be 88. We're not even getting there. Not for the next 7 days. And when we take a look at this for the bay itself and we put those numbers on, here it's staying relatively cool and pretty marine layer throughout the next 7 days as well. See you with more on this at 7 o'clock. Juliet, back to you.
Sounds like a plan. When we come back, the hidden treasure filled with inspiration that survived the devastation of the Palisades fire. We end with a story of resilience and hope out of Southern California. After devastating fires tore through Pacific Palisades, a hidden treasure remained. 3 years ago, father and son, Blake and Grayson, placed a treasure box inside of Skull Rock. The box gave hikers walking the popular trail an opportunity to connect and share uplifting messages. Then the Palisades fire burned more than 23,000 acres, including Blake and Grayson's home, but it didn't touch their treasure chest.
I had no clue if I was gonna make it or not. Nothing burned.
And then it jumps to 122. The fire may have destroyed the Palisades, but not your box. And then all of a sudden you got people after the fire finding their way to this chest, leaving amazing messages. Look at best wishes. Engine 341 from Bend, Oregon.
Look at that. Blake says one lesson from the ashes is that some things cannot burn: community, love, and connection. That is great. CBS EV News is next on KPIX. Local news always streaming on our streaming service. We're back here in 30 minutes with CBS News Bay Area at 7 o'clock. Mic drop. Have a good one.